live broadcast on More Than Headlines podcast right here. Just in case you happen to see this live, please join in and stay with us. We're about to have a very fun discussion session. So we're not going to start right away because we're going to wait for a couple of people to join in before we start. So if you're here now, welcome, stay, and let's have this conversation. So I'll be waiting for a few minutes to have people join, then we can start our conversations. Trust me guys, today's conversation is going to be very, very interesting. This is going to be a very open type conversation where you send in your comments, ask whatever question, and I'll be answering to the best of my ability. Yes guys, so once again, welcome to More Than Headlines podcast live, and I hope you guys enjoy this live as much as I will, because I hope this is going to be a very interactive session. So while we wait for other people to join in, you can just drop in the comment section, let me know where you're watching this live from. And also I want to use this opportunity to thank our subscribers, over 1,000 subscribers guys. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, and I hope we continue entertaining you, educating you with our podcast episodes. So guys, while we wait for other people to join, I know that YouTube is heavily copyrighted, so we can't play music while we're waiting, so we'll just wait kind of like in silence. But once I'll look up to see who has joined. And please, just in case you're joining us, don't forget to like up the live and also drop a comment and let us know where you're watching us from. Thank you. I know there's a lot of background noises. I hope it doesn't affect. Hi Carl Michael, thank you so much for joining More Than Headlines podcast live. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Beeries. Hi, thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining. Oh, thank you, Rebecca Pixie Doss. Thank you so much guys for joining. So by the way, I'm Kate. Hi IDK, thank you so much for joining. Oh, thank you for liking up the live. This is actually very encouraging guys, because this is the first time ever More Than Headlines is hosting a podcast. Podcast is hosting a live session, and to be very honest, I was a bit jittery. Like I was like, will people even come on? Thank you so much. Thank you so much from Rochester, New York, NY. I hope I got that right. Thank you so much, Nitish. Thank you, beautiful too. Thank you. I really appreciate you joining. Wow, 13 people on this live. Okay, let me introduce myself, because this is my first ever live session, and guys, just your presence, just 13 of you, I'm already very excited and very happy. So I'm Kate, and I'm a podcast host living in Nigeria. I live in Nigeria, and for those of you who do not know, maybe you've heard of Nigeria on the news. So Nigeria is an African country. Nigeria is in the west, of Africa. So I'm a podcast host, and I host this particular podcast right here. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Oh, you're from India. Oh, hi. I actually have a couple of Indian friends. I don't know if you know that we have quite a good number of Indians residing and doing business in Nigeria. Thank you so much guys. I really appreciate you joining my live. So first of all, More Than Headlines podcast is a podcast that discusses everything from celebrity culture to headlines. Even though we're more than headlines, basically anything that affects society. We could be educating, we could be entertaining, we could be edutaining, whichever one. So guys, first things first, on this live today, my most recent episodes. Okay, guys, while you're here, please, I'm also going to crave your indulgence and ask that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and, kind of like support the channel and see what we do, on this channel. So, first of all, for today's topic, I was hoping to, have kind of like a discussion session, excuse me, where we'll talk about, like, if for example you've ever watched our podcast, let me know what you enjoy. Hi, can you just stand for a better view? Oh, sorry. Can I stand? Well, thank you so much. My hair is incredible. Thank you. I really appreciate you. So our previous episode was actually one where I was talking to my guest about ghosting. You guys know that in this day and time, ghosting is very, very, very popular. In fact, in as much as psychologists and other mental health professionals will say that ghosting can be very toxic, but this generation will actually kind of like embraced ghosting and kind of like normalized it. So sometimes if you have friends, colleagues, and they just do something to you that you don't like, instead of addressing the issue, you just decide to ghost. By the way, ghosting is just like literally cutting somebody off permanently. You don't talk to the person, you're not communicating. Maybe there's a tiff, but you don't want to talk about it. And sometimes ghosting is as a result of anxiety. Sometimes it's also as a result of your upbringing, especially those of us that grew up in Africa, where as a kid you were just to be seen and not heard, and you were just supposed to respect all the people that are older than you, all your elders. Even if somebody older did something bad to you, you didn't feel good about it, you were just supposed to just keep it short and keep it moving and be as respectful as you can. So people in this kind of, like, would I call it toxic environment, kind of grew up to be people who try to avoid situations. You don't want, we don't, not we, but those people don't like to be confrontational, regardless of who and where the situation is. So people have now resorted to ghosting. So you could have a little misunderstanding with your friend and you don't want to talk about it. You're like, you can go away, I don't want to be friends with you. In as much as it might seem as if that would give you peace of mind, it doesn't in the long run for those who have tried it. Because how do you automatically cut somebody whom you have been very close with, someone who you shared your experiences, your anxieties, your happy moments, had great memories with. So this generation, ghosting is a very serious conversation that I feel that the people of this generation need to unlearn and relearn. Even though when you ghost somebody, it looks like, oh, it's making sense, you not have your peace of mind, but trust me guys, it's definitely going to creep up on you one day, because apparently you're avoiding the situation. Because sorting out things will always be better than avoiding it, because then again you have your, what people call, you have your kind of, what's the word right now, the word escapes my mind right now, but at least you know that situation has been sorted out, and you can now decide what you want to do with that situation, whether you want to continue being friends or not be friends, as opposed to just cut somebody off. Most of the people who ghost people are not even happy that they've ghosted people. They still live with the anxiety of it. They still struggle with whatever caused that problem between them, their friend, or their colleague, or their family member, or their sibling, whichever one. I've also heard that in like in American countries, that's countries in southern and northern America, people feel very comfortable cutting off their family members. No, we're not judging. This is a no judgment zone, guys. So we're not judging. When Africa, because I think those countries are kind of like, in America, in Nigeria, in Africa, we're kind of communal. People live with their relatives. Living with your relatives, bonding with your relatives is very very important for us Africans, because we've lived in, I think from the olden days, from time immemorial, Africans have always lived in clutches. Nobody has been, completely independent of family. But I know that Europeans, Americans, you could be completely independent of your family and probably live to the end of your life and not see them and be at peace. But for us, it's not, the same. So ghosting here can actually even make you, like, I've seen people who actually got depressed of just, ghosting their friends. They didn't like it, but they felt that ghosting their friend would give them peace of mind, but it didn't, or ghosting whoever. So guys, what are your thoughts and opinion on ghosting? Have you ever ghosted anyone? Has anybody ever ghosted you? Why were you ghosted, if you know, and why did you ghost somebody? I'd like to know. So if you're still here, please let me know by dropping a comment in the comment section. I'd really really love to hear from you. I can still see a couple of people here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. Please just, drop a comment. And like I said earlier, guys, please don't forget to go to the channel, watch a couple of episodes, like up the episodes. You can now also share with your friends, and also please don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, thank you so much. Oops, there are a couple of people here that dropped quite a good number of comments. Thank you so much. I really really appreciate all the compliments. It's actually very helpful, because this is my first ever live here, and I really appreciate the people who came. I can still see two people here. Please, can you drop a comment? I'd like to know where you're watching from, and I'd love to also hear from you. What's your experience with ghosting? Have you ever been ghosted? Have you ghosted somebody, and how did you feel about it? And vice versa, when you were ghosted, how did you feel about it? And basically, what are your general thoughts on ghosting? Hi, thank you so much. Hi, is anybody there? Hi, hi, hi. I'm really, really excited to, come on here. I think we'll do this more often. I'm hoping to get more feedback from you guys. Hopefully, at least minimum of once a month, guys. We should come here, probably discuss all the episodes that have gone up on the channel, the episode you enjoyed most, share your thoughts and opinion on everything, and just get to know you, our viewers, where you're watching from, and also appreciate you for supporting the channel as well. So guys, oh, is that fit check? Sorry. Hi. Hey guys, can you say something? Let me know that there are still a couple of people here. Hi. Mm, 15 minutes on here. First 15 minutes on here. Very good. Very impressing. Hi. Hi guys. Okay, maybe I should just keep sharing my thoughts and opinion on ghosting. Maybe for the people who will watch later, or maybe the people who will come on later. So let me just keep conversing. I don't know if you're shy to drop a comment. Anyway, by the way, when it comes to ghosting, what are my experiences of ghosting? Ugh. Have I ever ghosted anyone? To be honest with you guys, my experiences with ghosting is the fact that maybe most times people ghost me because they think I'm ghosting them, which most times is not the case. Most times, most often than not, I'm not ghosting anyone. Maybe I'm just in my quiet phase. I just want to be on my own. Maybe I'm going through stuff and I'm just trying to, sort myself out, and people would interpret it as, oh, maybe I'm not trying to, or I'm not making efforts with our friendship, and they decide, oh, maybe I've ghosted them, and they ghost me right back. Most times, most often than not, it's not true, and most times we just have a conversation and get over it. That's my own experience. But have I ghosted somebody? When it comes to ghosting, guys, because like I said, with what I know, ghosting, the effect of ghosting can be, we're going to discuss the effects of ghosting, very soon. But with the effects of ghosting, I literally do not like ghosting anyone. It's not something that I enjoy doing. I would rather say I like to move away a bit, just maybe you need your space. I'll just, maybe from your actions or words or whatever, I just feel like, oh, maybe this person needs a little bit of space, and I will just give you your space, not because I am ghosting you. Yeah. So that's my own. And if ever you feel the need to come around and have a conversation, I'm very open to it, because come on, I'm an adult, and as adults we should be open to conflict resolution. This is also conflict resolution, basically. So you cannot just keep having, a grudge, regardless of, I know, there are certain things people do to you and you're like, no, no, no. You never want to talk or speak to those people. But I don't think I share that sentiment, because then again, life is too short. I'd like to have a conversation. I'd like to know why you did certain things, and I'd like to know where we should be, like what it should be moving forward. Yeah. So either way, ghosting people, yeah, I remember. Anyway, like I said, I've actually not really been ghosted, but I remember a situation in secondary school. For those of you who are watching from India, Europe, wherever, secondary school is basically your high school. So I had a situation where I had two friends who used to, move around together. At some point, they felt like I wasn't a caring friend, like I wasn't caring enough, I wasn't whatever enough, and they decided to say that they didn't want to be friends with me, which, being the kind of teenager that I was, people used to think like I was like an I don't care person. I actually had feelings, but I used to make it seem like I really didn't care about all that stuff. So when they said they didn't want to be friends with me because I wasn't caring and stuff, I was like, okay, fine, keep it moving. And I just went ahead and had other friends, and, kept it moving with my life. But when they finally had issues in their little friendship where they were caring about themselves, I was still the one that everybody came back to me to say, oh, this one did this one did that. And in my head, I was like, I thought I wasn't your friend anymore. I thought I was the friend that was not caring. Apparently, I was even the most caring friend. Hi, Kevin. Thank you so much for joining the live, and thank you so much for commenting. I'm Kate. I'm live streaming from Nigeria, Africa. And if you don't know where Nigeria is in the western part of Africa. And More Than Headlines is a podcast hosted here in Nigeria, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State to be very precise, where we discuss celebrity, pop culture, basically, things, any topic that has to do with life, basically. And our last episode was about ghosting, and I wanted to, come on here and talk about that, ask people what their experiences with ghosting is, and if they've ever been ghosted, if they've ghosted somebody, reasons and how it made them feel. And I was also sharing my thoughts and my own opinion on ghosting, because I feel like maybe as a younger person I didn't have these same thoughts, but I actually do not agree with ghosting, because as an adult we should always find a way to resolve conflict, because whether we like it or not, some of these negative experiences just kind of like stays inside us and just keeps building and building. And as an adult, once again, this is not something I would like to do. I just want to be free flowing, happy, not have any grudge. It's fine if you don't want to be friends with me, but let's have a conversation, excuse me, and like let's know what got us here and how we should act moving forward. Is it something we can resolve? Is it something we can live with? If we can't resolve it, as far as both parties are okay. So hi Kevin, I don't know if you're still here. Whoever is here, I'd like to know your thoughts on ghosting, your experiences. You can just drop something in the comment section and that'll be fine. Yeah. So then again, I was talking about my experience in secondary school where I was ghosted by my friends at the time. And I was just a young teenager who didn't really, I don't want to say I didn't, like, of course, as a teenager, I wasn't very self aware as I am now. But for some reason, I didn't know why they thought I wasn't caring. Like, I was just in my own world. I was just a child that loved to imagine a lot. I used to read a lot. I was actually very creative, and I used to write as well. So for whatever reason, and I'm not taking it away from them, their reasons I'm sure were very valid to them. Oh, thank you, Kevin said nice lips. Okay, thank you. Thank you, nice lips, but it's also a nice podcast as well. So I'd like you to check out the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, watch a few couple of episodes, and leave a comment. Let's know what you think about More Than Headlines podcast. And I believe that regardless of where you are, even though we try to, most of my conversations are like Nigerian, African centered, I believe we also have some conversations that, regardless of where you are, you would enjoy. Like the previous one we just had about ghosting, where we're talking about like to see more. Oh, thank you so much. Kevin, just in case, please subscribe to the channel, because this is my very first live ever. This is just me testing out what going live would be like on YouTube on this podcast channel. So I'd like you to subscribe. Anytime I'm going to be having a live session, there'll be a flyer out and you can join in. At some point we're going to be allowing guests join the live session. Come share your thoughts and opinion. We'll be having a lot of fun on this channel. Yeah, we'll be having, oh, thank you so much. You'd like to see more, just subscribe. Thank you so much for the comment. I really appreciate. So that's talking about my experiences with ghosting. That's one. Then as an adult, I've also had another one which was kind of like weird, like really really weird, because there were like certain scenarios that looked like something that was imagined. When a friend begins to act up just because they're imagining things that actually did not occur in reality. Like you're wondering, like, is it me? Like when did I do that? Like when did this happen? Like it never even happened in my world. How come you're the only one that? Oh, thank you. So I said, pull your hair back a little. How come you're the only one that's talking about something that happened when it never happened in my world? Basically, in fact, it never happened. I don't know if she was imagining it. I don't know. I'm somebody that likes to give people grace a lot, because in my head I'm like, maybe she's just going through a lot of stuff. Maybe she doesn't just need me around in her space right now. But what I did not understand was a day we actually had this mutual friend who was celebrating a birthday party, and we got there and she literally walked past me without saying hi. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. Maybe she's having a bad day. Everybody, like, I love to give people grace, guys. Like, I love to give people grace. You could be my friend and do, excuse me, what other friends would think is unimaginable, and I'll still give you grace. I'll be like, maybe you were having a hard time, maybe, like, it could be anything. But as far as you could, come back later and be like, okay, this was this, and we can keep it moving. But so when she walked past me, I was like, okay, maybe she doesn't feel like it. It's not bad. We're free to do whatever we want to do. It's life, we're adults. So she walks past me, and the next thing, somebody comes to me and says, "What's the problem?" And I'm like, "What's the problem? I'm okay. I'm fine." I'm like, I was actually having fun at the party. I was with my cousin, and they were like, "Oh, she said you didn't say hi to her. She said hi to you." And my cousin who was sitting right next to me was like, "Whoa, oh, thank you so much, Kevin, beautiful lady. I'm sure you're also a beautiful man. Yeah, thank you so much for the compliment." And my cousin was like, "Wow, are you for real? I was sitting right here and this person walked past you and didn't say hi to you. How come she's telling people that she said hi to you and you didn't say hi to her?" It was so shocking, and I was like, okay, enough of it. Enough of the imaginations, enough of the being in your head. If you don't want to talk to me, it's fine. But other people saw it like I was ghosting her. I wasn't ghosting her. I was just giving her a space to be an adult, so that whatever is your problem, whatever is in your head, and when you're ready, you can come back and we can continue being friends. But if at the end of the day you never get ready for us to be friends, it's bad. It's fine. Oh, hi, Carl. Thank you. Welcome back. So, Carl, I'm sharing like my ghosting experiences, and I'm asking people, have you ever been ghosted by a friend, a family member, whoever, a colleague? Did they ghost you or did you ghost them? How did it make you feel? Like whichever way, whether you were ghosted or not, would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section. And like, do you like ghosting? Because I know there are actually a lot of people who think ghosting gives them mental space and peace. Like I said, do not subscribe to that. If there's actually animosity, I feel like whatever animosity can be sorted out, then the space and the peace can be intact. Because then again, if I'm holding a grudge, or I'm upset with you, just because you're not in my space or head, you're not in my space or in my face, does not mean I'm at peace. Hi, Kevin. Please what? Okay, so basically that's that. And have I ever heard of any then when it comes to relationships, oops, my phone. Sorry guys. When it comes to relationships, I've actually never been ghosted, and I have never ghosted anyone. I'm mature enough to understand that conversations are very important, because in relationships you don't just wake up and ghost somebody that you were in love with, or whatever. You can't just ghost people. Colleagues, I've actually had, when it comes to my colleagues, like in like places that I've worked before now, I still have a very good relationship with my former colleagues, which I think is very. I know a lot of people that leave their former places of work and they have just one or two good friends, but even my first boss, whom I left the job because I wasn't comfortable with a couple of things, but still we still have each other's contact and we're in a very good space. No animosity, I believe, and that's it. So I don't deal well with those kind of things, and I just like to free up my heart, free up. I believe that I have a very positive and happy aura, and I don't want anybody to ever tamper with my good, happy aura. So I always like to leave things at a very peaceful state. Not to say that I don't have a couple of situations where I just had to. Those were very necessary, but at the same time, I'm at peace with those situations. You guys want me to stand up. I'm having a conversation here. I'm talking to you guys about something, and you guys, all you want is me to stand up. Hi, Kevin. Don't you want to share your thoughts and opinion with us? I don't want to stand up. I'm not a dancer. I'm a podcast host. So I sit down and I have a conversation. So this live is supposed to be a conversation. You're supposed to be sharing your thoughts and opinion with me. We're supposed to be chit-chatting, having fun. So basically that's that. And have have I ever been ghosted by a colleague? No. Some former colleagues, the relationship can just, slowly die a natural death, especially when you're not in close proximity and you're not keeping up with the person communication wise. You're not calling and they're not calling you. That I don't even see as ghosting. I just see it as the relationship dying a natural death, like I said, because you are not in that space together anymore. So but I also know people can ghost their colleagues, literally work in the same office with somebody and not talk to the person. There are a couple of people like that, but like I said, I'm not that person, and I just, moving forward, just like to sort things out, because like I said again, you don't want your natural aura, your happy aura, your good aura to leave you. Like, guys, try not ghosting, try just sorting out. Excuse me, even if the person is avoiding you, you can be the bigger person. You can be the bigger person and start the conversation. Yeah, you can. It wouldn't hurt. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So basically that's that, guys. I feel maybe because it's our first live, we're kind of like new. It's almost like a boy-girl relationship when the boy and the girl meet on the first day. In Nigeria, we have a slang for it. We call it steez. You're still in your steez. Maybe it's because it's our first day, and you don't want to come here and share your thoughts. But maybe in subsequent live sessions, you will. I want to appreciate you guys for staying with me. I really enjoyed doing this live. I really do enjoy having conversations, and I hope you guys, my next live session, you guys will indulge me by actually leaving comments, because come on guys, it's not interesting. I'm the only one having a conversation here with you guys. By the way, if you're still here, would be heading over to YouTube right away, still on this podcast channel, on our YouTube channel, on our TikTok channel, to have a live conversation as well. If you don't mind joining us there, we're going to be there live once this ends. Thank you guys for joining the live. I really do appreciate the comments, the likes, and all the compliments. See you on our next live episode. It's your podcast host, Kate. See you on our next live episode. Bye.